Hello and welcome to Business PNG. Now, as you can see, we're here at the 9 Mile Farm for this edition of the show as we feature some wonderful women in agriculture. For example, Lanyat Bai, who will be leaving PNG to go to Israel shortly for training. We see her story as well as many other wonderful women.
Papua New Guinea breeds a special kind of woman, industrious and hardworking women, women who toil, women who break cultural norms and social stereotypes. In a largely patriarchal society, more and more women are breaking societal norms and working in jobs that have been traditionally reserved for men as they step up to serve as their family's breadwinners. Papua New Guinea is often described as the land of the unexpected. So why is it that eyebrows are raised and judgments are made when women do the unexpected and rise past the status quo? Business PNG spoke with 3 women about how their non-traditional jobs are changing their lives as well as the lives of the people around them.
I'm in charge of the nursery. I'm the nursery manager. I'm responsible for the seeds, the seedlings, the growing stages, the early stage development of the crop. That's from sowing to transplanting. I studied agriculture for 4 years. That's at the University of Udall, now known as the University of Natural Resources and Environment. That's in East New Britain. Not many women you find in the agriculture sector. They don't take agriculture as a career, but agriculture is a very rewarding career. You contribute towards food production, food security, which helps to develop daily lives of individual Papua New Guineans. It's integrated pest management. It was organized by the Israeli Ministry for Agriculture and the Agricultural Research Organization. That's another arm of the Agriculture Ministry of Israel. Yeah. Scholarship would be very useful to our day-to-day activities here in the farm in terms of plant protection. And I'm looking forward to attending the course and to come back, implement, and teach my fellow colleagues. We're women, we're agriculturists, so we're the main food providers to the home. And being in agriculture is in the a women in the agriculture industry is very challenging. However, it's as well very rewarding.
Well, I basically look after as a crop management controller. So I look after the irrigation. I program daily irrigation to the greenhouses. Then I monitor the nutrition of the crops in the greenhouses. I see if there's any need for more nutrient or less, I monitor. And then I monitor the basic chemical properties of the water, like pH, EC, and all this. And I also in charge of the fertilizer. I graduated last year from Unitec. I joined them in April. And next year will be my 1 year of staying here. April will be my 1 year. Basically, the media that we are currently using is cocoa peat. It's not the natural soil that we are using. From the natural soil, we have all the macro and micronutrients that it supplies to the plant. But whatever we are using now doesn't help. So what we do, we artificially provide the nutrients to the crops by the fertilizer we use. So in order to monitor the nutritional level in the crops, you have to know the pH and the EC. These are the factors that contribute much to the availability of the nutrients in the soil. I check the pH and the EC. Why I check the pH? Because there's a certain requirement of pH for the crops. If, most of the crops, they require pH of 6 to 6.5. So if the pH drops down to 6 to 5, that means it's very toxic for the crops. If the pH goes higher than 7, that means it's alkalinity and it's not good for the crops. So while checking the pH, I have to stabilize the pH in the machine. So what I do, we have 2 tanks, 2 irrigation machine. Irrigation machine 1 controls the irrigation for greenhouse 1, 2, 3, 4, and net house. Irrigation machine 2 irrigates to 5, 6, 7, and 8. So after all the mix of the fertilizer and the tank, we program here and it comes down here and goes to the greenhouses. So to know the pH and EC, I check that. So that's for tank 1 and that's for tank 2. That's the pH meter. Okay, that's different. You have to check for pH, EC. So what I do, I just dip it into the cup, and then it gives the reading for pH and EC. Okay. And then also to tank 2. So I check for the EC and pH. For tank 1 now it's 7.20. EC is basically the electrical conductivity. Okay. It measures the different salt level inside the media. The salt comes from the fertilizer, like we use potassium, we use magnesium, and all these things, they are basically salt. So if you want to check the salt level, you have to check from the EC. So for now, the EC is 1.862. That's for machine number 2, which irrigates 5, 6, 7, and 8. I check it daily. Every time I have to check because every time we make mix for the fertilizer, so I have to know the correct amount is going into the plant. If it's less, I tell the boys to reduce it down. If it's more, I advise the boys to put less. As you know, in our country, it's men dominate, and women, they think that they cannot make it up to where men is, but that's not true. We can prove it wrong. A woman can fly plane, they can become prime minister, they can do anything. So why not women step up with their education, go as far as you can go, compete with men and prove that you can do it.
My name is Jemima Pupu. I come from Enga, up in the Highlands. And my passion for makeup all started when I was down in Toowoomba, when I was boarding. I was in a boarding school. When I was down there, in Australia, it's kind of like, it's really developed, and makeup is just an everyday thing that all the girls down there, they wear and go out, whatever. So when I was boarding school, all the girls there, as I mentioned, all the girls were so into makeup, and it was so different because from what I was used to. So from there, I kind of like got so interested in it, but way before I was interested in it, my big sisters were, they were my inspiration as well because they were so into fashion and makeup and, girl stuff. So I kind of picked up 1 or 2 things from them as I grew up. So when I was old enough, I saw what I wanted, and I wanted makeup. It was kind of like a hobby, after school when I got so tired, and then I'd go back, and then what would make me happy was, experimenting, eyeshadow looks and stuff like that, and, some stuff like that. I was also into art. I love art. I draw, I paint. So when you're into art, I guess you just go on from there. You experiment with new things and stuff like that. So I saw that makeup was a way I could, was the art as well. Makeup is an art. So I decided on studying styling by Gemma when I came back to PNG last year, so that not many of the girls here in PNG know the proper way of applying makeup and stuff like that. You know, they know the basics, the, you know, blush, lipstick, or, you know, eyeliner, as you would call it. So yeah, so when I came back, I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity, you know, because not most of our young girls here know, and the women as well, some older women as well, because they weren't like the older generations and stuff, but the new generation kind of knew, but not too much of the, you know, very detailed process on applying and stuff like that. So yeah, when I came back, my big sister encouraged me to set up a Facebook page. My Facebook page is called Silent by Gemma, and it grew from there. I invited my friends to like it. I got the likes on my page, and then it became popular, and I got like clients and stuff who wanted me to do makeup for them. Most of my messages I get is on through my page on Facebook. Almost every one of my clients, they message me on my Facebook page. So yeah, when they message me, they ask me, oh, where are you located? How much is it? You know, stuff like that. And when can I you know, borrow you for the day for makeup and stuff like that. So when they do message me, I try to be very modest, and you know, I ask them, oh, can you tell me the day, the time, the venue where I can meet you, and can I like have your phone number and stuff like that. So it's very important for those little things, because it helps me to be on time and on track. I've worked with younger girls, older women, middle-aged women, basically all of the age groups. And when it's very different. So if you compared to like if you want to do makeup for like a TV personal or like an anchor, it's so different from what you would apply makeup to a girl who's going to a formals. So you have to be very mindful of what you apply. Like, especially with the eyeshadows and lipsticks, you don't, because if it's formal, then, you know, you want to look that extra, so you go on all out, stuff like that. And when it's, you know, professional or in a professional environment, or, you know, some ladies prefer like the natural look sometimes. So you have to be very careful and achieve the goal that, you know, or, you know, what they want. So you have to be very modest when you do that. One of the biggest expense in running this small business is buying makeup. Makeup is very pricey. Especially here in PNG, because I do buy some of my products here in PNG as well. City Pharmacy has a wide range of makeup stuff that you can choose from as well. So yeah, they're very pricey, but other than that, that's the only money that I spend on. Another challenge also is that the young girls and the women here in PNG, there's so many stereotypical people that, you know, think makeup is bad as well. So that's kind of one of the challenges that, you know, I face, because I'm trying to, you know, change the world, or change the game. You know, we can't be, you know, staying back and focusing on the old stuff that we do. The world is developing, and we need to move on and stuff like that. So one of the challenges is bad critics that I get sometimes. You know, people say, oh, we don't need makeup, we're beautiful enough, but it's okay to have fun and, you know, experiment with things also, you know. So that's kind of one of the challenges that I personally feel it challenges me a lot. My encouragement this is for people who are already in the business. I would say, you know, don't let the bad critics pull you down. Focus on the good things that other people have to say about you. Don't let the bad things come your way and stop you from doing what you're doing. And for those who are just starting out, who want to do something, go for it. Just if you have a passion for something, go for it and don't hold back. Start small, and it will grow from there.
Good evening, Ernestine. Thank you so much for your time. Can you please introduce yourself as well as your business? Tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, for me, coconut oil always has been a part of my life. And coconut products, from cooking to the oil itself as a health and beauty product. Sure. This is before I even came to Papua New Guinea to start my business in Australia. But it goes back further than that, because my family was in the export of copra, which we are also doing ourselves now. Okay. Copra to my family was education to me and some of my siblings. So for me to come back to PNG, I wanted to do something that I enjoyed doing, that I knew was going to be helping the economy, the people, and we decided, my partner and I, my husband and I, Mungo, on let's get into coconut oil. He says that he's the one that suggested to me, why don't you do coconut oil? You like the product. He actually suggested coconut soap. And I dabbled in soap, and I thought, I enjoy making soap. And so I've since coming up to visit him a few times in back home, I would just try to test out how the soap's handled in this environment. That's how I started, and came around. Maxton House came around with, apart from that being our surname, part of our surname, I wanted the word house. I wanted it to spell like the way in Tok Pisin we'd spell house, because house represented family, and to me that's what the coconut is all about to us, and I think to all Papua New Guineans, it representing family.
Sure. And how has the response been like?
I have to say, quite positive. Definitely the retail has dropped.
Okay.
However, in saying that, we are getting also interest from overseas as far away as Netherlands. So, and this is quite new, so I'm very excited about this. So apart from the Australian market, the New Zealand market, we're starting to tap into Europe. And that's just with our existing products. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with the other products.
Yeah.
With Papua New Guinea at the moment, we supply to all the city pharmacy stores. We're also at a little something from PNG at Jackson's Airport. So you get a lot of, for us, that's a lot of international travel. So that's where we get a lot of our feedbacks from, what our oils or our soap has done to how it's benefited other people, and where can they get this online, and is it readily available? So for us, that's a good market access, that little shop. But yeah, we're all over Port Moresby.
So off camera a while ago, you told me about the difficulties you face, especially in terms of access to markets. Can you tell us or elaborate more on this, as well as what type of solutions you think would be suited for this problem, especially for SMEs like yourself and other struggling SMEs in different sectors?
I think as just starting off is, you need to ensure that you get a consistent supply. That is one of the biggest challenges, and the consistent supply of your raw ingredients, apart from your packaging. That's the other thing, and getting, once you decide that where you're going to go, if you're going to go to the market overseas, then your packaging's got to be right. I've learned that with my packaging, so there will be new packaging coming out. But yeah, and learning about that. What are you marketing? I'm marketing my brand name, Maxton House, but I'm also marketing Papua New Guinea. So all those sort of things, those are things that I missed, I guess. So that was a bit of a challenge in the marketplace as to how I placed myself, both internationally and domestically. So it took us a while to get started, but once we got started, and there's still a lot that people need to know about us. The other challenges is to do with institutions, understanding SMEs, small to big, where you're at, where would you like to go, how readily available is information for you, so that you can move yourself from your foundation building of your business to the next level.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the future of the company, what you see, where you see Maxton House in the next 5 years, and what plans you have.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. The future is exciting, absolutely. The future is exciting for coconuts in Papua New Guinea, for Maxton House itself. We're definitely going to be a forerunner for coconut cooking oil. I believe that, so Indonesia, look out. And I have 2 other lines which I think will really help the people of PNG and make a name for for Maxon House. And that would be an ointment, which is a health ointment. All the ingredients are from Papua New Guinea. Again, the baseline ingredient will be coconut oil. So that and the cooking oil are two of the lines that I think will put Maxon House on the map for Papua New Guinea.
Finally, as we wrap up, do you have any words of advice for aspiring SMEs out there, aspiring entrepreneurs? You know, what, coming from an SME owner yourself and a successful one at that, what words of advice can you give to them to encourage them?
Don't give up. Do not give up and enjoy what you're doing.
And that's all we have for this edition of Business PNG. Now, the show will be taking a short break, so we will not be back next week. However, like our page on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at the Twitter handle at Business PNG to join the conversation. Or for more information, visit us on the URL at the bottom of the screen. Once again, I'm Leanne Jarari, and this was Business PNG.